So I'm going to use this same video to provide you some information on your real-time SOAP Note 1 and 2 assignments. So for the SOAP Note 1 and 2, you will be doing these in a timed format. So this first one, number 1, is to be done in 60 minutes. The second one will be in 40. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the provided video as well as the additional information that I have provided you underneath the video to give you some additional contextual information. You're going to take all of that and write a thorough SOAP note using the typical guidelines and tips from your Module 2 documentation presentation. Now, you won't be able to use that information while you're writing the SOAP note. The SOAP note is going to be done as a graded quiz. So you'll have a full 60 minutes for this first one to watch the video, read the additional information that I've provided, and write the note. For the second one, it'll be the same process. It'll just be you'll have 40 minutes to watch the video, read the additional information, and write the note. With this assignment, you want to be sure that you only identify one problem statement. You want to be sure that the area that you identified is an area of occupation or a functional performance skill deficit, not a diagnosis, not a symptom of the diagnosis. You do not want to use the Respondus Lockdown browser on this assignment. Again, I repeat, you do not need to use the Lockdown browser on this assignment. So essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be writing a SOAP note. I'm going to be grading you on that. Now, one thing I do want to point out, I do not want you guys to do this early and end up missing out on the feedback that you will be given on your previous SOAP note assignment. So for the real-time SOAP note 1, you need to be able to refer back to your feedback that I give you in your first goal writing and SOAP note assignment in week 2. When you complete your SOAP note, the real-time SOAP note 2, you'll need to utilize the feedback from this real-time SOAP note number 1. So you want to make sure that you're really paying attention to the feedback that you're given on the previous SOAP note assignment, because that will really help you when you're writing the SOAP note for these assignments. Now, again, I'm adding these to all of the assignments. Why do we do this assignment? So it is so important that you're able to effectively document. And since SOAP note writing really is the most difficult way to write a note outside of just a plain narrative note, if you can write a SOAP note, typically you'll be able to handle any electronic documentation formats that are out there as far as knowing what to put in the note. Now, the notes written for mental health OT practice are a little different. So you're not necessarily pointing out physical things. Sometimes you're looking at things that you can't more as tangibly notice. So you can tell when somebody needs, I don't know, a reacher, let's say, to reach something on the floor. It's a little harder to process through a person needing assistance with being able to sleep and how you can address that in therapy. It's also important that you're able to write notes within a certain amount of time and all at one time, instead of, like, if you're working on an assignment, you might write the S and the O and then the next day come back and finish the A and the P. We want to make sure that you can do the note from start to finish, that you can do it within a certain time frame, because you are working towards being able to eventually do a day's worth of notes in that day without having to stay after work to finish them. So ideally, we're working towards getting you efficient in your writing and also time efficient with that writing. So that's the purpose of these 2 timed assignments. Now, that concludes the tips and tricks that I wanted to provide you for these 2 assignments. If you have any questions after you read over the assignment and listen to this video, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I want this to be something that is a positive learning experience, not something that's overly stressful. So if you do have any other questions, please feel free to let me know.